This is Mindfulness with Richard Clarke. Listen, reflect, and deeply meditate. You probably have had this experience. A single thought appears and your mood shifts. A memory arises and suddenly the day feels heavy. It might even have been tension in a dream as you were waking up. Something you fear shows up and anxiety begins moving through the body. But it's just a thought. It seems like thoughts carry authority, almost like instructions you must follow. Yet meditation reveals something surprising. Thoughts come and go in the same way that sounds come and go. They appear, linger for a while, then fade. Today, we explore mindfulness of thoughts and how seeing the temporary nature of thought changes your relationship with the mind. If this reflection helps your practice, like the video, subscribe, ring the bell, and share your experience in the comments. Welcome. This is Richard Clarke, and today's session will be on mindfulness of thought. Mindfulness meditation begins with something simple. You sit quietly and observe what's already happening. Breath moves in and out, sounds appear, sensations shift in the body. After a short time, another activity seems obvious. Thoughts are constantly appearing in awareness. It can seem like thoughts are interrupting the calm of your meditation. Many people think meditation requires stopping thought. This assumption creates frustration. The mind just won't stop. The mind keeps producing ideas, images, and commentary as naturally as the lungs breathe. The actual purpose of mindfulness is different from stopping thought. Instead, you learn to recognize thoughts as events in awareness rather than as facts about reality. That's why the metaphor of thoughts passing as clouds is so powerful. When a thought appears, it often seems to carry emotional force. A sentence such as something is wrong can trigger tension in the chest. A memory may produce regret. A prediction can produce fear. The body reacts quickly, often before the thought is examined. Mindfulness interrupts this automatic chain. During meditation, you begin noticing when a thought forms. Thoughts seem to rise out of nothing. Maybe it starts as an image, a memory, or a desire. Perhaps you remember some words, perhaps a body falling. Instead of following the thought into a story, you can simply acknowledge its presence and step back from it. You might silently note thinking. This creates space between awareness and the mental event. Once this space appears, something important becomes clear. Thoughts move like weather, clouds in the sky. A worry rises, holds attention for a while, then fades. Another idea replaces it. The mind continues producing material without needing your participation. You can just notice this and gain some distance from the cycle. This observation can change your relationship with thinking. Instead of the pressure of every thought, you may see that many dissolve naturally when left alone. You don't need to prove them wrong or push them away. Just let them go. Don't follow them. Simply watch their life cycle. Watch them come and go. You'll notice that thoughts only have the power that you give to them. Thoughts appear in awareness, yet awareness itself remains unchanged. There is awareness as the silent witness of mental movement. When you identify with the thought stream, every idea feels personal and urgent. When you recognize yourself as the awareness in which thoughts arise, their authority diminishes. This recognition doesn't remove thinking from the daily life. Thought is a great tool. It's useful for planning, learning, and communication. The difference lies in freedom. When you use thought as a tool, you can think when noted, when needed, and release thinking when it no longer serves the moment. You may notice that you still are able to go about your life, and all that thinking doesn't really help much. In practical life, this becomes powerful. A critical thought about yourself floats by. You notice it rather than believing it and reacting to it. Maybe a fear arises. You can observe it as just imagination rather than prediction. This shift prevents unnecessary suffering. It's like watching it on a movie screen instead of being it in the movie. With continued practice, thoughts become like passing clouds across a wide sky. The sky remains open regardless of what moves through it. Your awareness functions in the same way. Thoughts come and go, yet the awareness that knows them remains steady. Mindfulness of thought reveals a quiet truth. Thoughts are events, not identity. When you see this clearly, the mind starts to lose its habit of controlling your experience. Something new appears. You can allow thinking to happen without becoming trapped inside it. You gain a new freedom. And now a guided meditation. Get comfortable. Feel the contact of your body with the chair. Allow the shoulders to relax. Feel the breath. Notice the natural rhythm of inhaling and exhaling. Soon, a thought will appear. This is normal. When a thought comes, pause for a moment. See if you can notice just when it starts, where it comes from. Silently say thinking and stand back from the thought. No judgment, no analysis. Be curious. See what happens next. Does the thought stay? Does it fade? Does another thought replace it? Does the mind get quiet for a bit? Now ask quietly within, who is aware of this thought? Don't search for an answer. Just let the question open your awareness. Notice that the thought is observed. You know the thought. The thought passing, you remain present. Rest as this observing presence for a few breaths. Another thought may appear. Let it pass in the same open space. Feel the body again. Notice the room around you. Thoughts continue to move, yet awareness remains steady. Gently deepen the breath. And when ready, open your eyes, bringing this clear seeing into daily life. Let thoughts come and go without struggle. You don't need to believe every sentence the mind produces. Rest as the awareness that sees them pass. So, Barley, how's your meditation been?
Not too bad. I feel like I know more about how to drop into meditation whenever I think about it, if I want to.
That's very
So,
good.
yeah. And you keep telling us new tricks, like that your mind will continue to have thoughts. Um,
Right.
I was thinking the thoughts would just float through. That was another one, but that
Oh,
you
well,
said,
the thoughts still float through, they don't stop.
yeah, yeah.
And, the idea of having the thoughts float through is
Hmm.
just, uh, it's a way of letting yourself distance yourself from them and not hold them so tight.
Good point. Yeah.
Again, the big deal about thoughts is that thoughts only have the power you give them.
Okay. All right. Got it. Thank you.
And, Joyce, how about you?
I would say this has been a week where I've been probably working at meditation more than I should, just because I've been, just a lot of stuff and anxiety with it. So I've had to work at it because there's just so much background anxiety. But I'm glad that I do have the experience because, like you said, Barley, it's a little easier to drop into meditation when you're really needing it. But it's been a working week, I guess, is the only way to describe it.
Could it have been useful to help you stay calm and centered?
I think meditation is one of the best things you can do to stay calm in a situation where you're stressed. But sometimes getting to meditation is tough,
It's
to
hard,
do.
right?
Yeah.
And though, you can't really quiet your mind when you're stressed, your mind is kind of yelling at you.
Yes, exactly.
How about you, Carol?
Nothing to report and nothing new. I pretty much always have a little or more than a little in the evening before bed. So
Mm-hmm. How are you, Tom? How's your meditation been?
It's getting more regularized, I would say. I'm going to Heart of Awareness for their meditation group.
Very good.
And this one. So it's getting a little more regularized. That'd be my comments. Thank you.
And it sounds like you're getting more support for it coming here and going to the Heart of Awareness.
Right, right. So
that's very good.
I'm only concerned about going back to the States on the 2nd of April. There's really not that much support back there. So just be on the Zoom mostly.
Mm-hmm. There's the Zoom stuff. And one of the things that could be useful is just looking at some of the old meditations we have on YouTube.
Right, right. I'll look at that. I'll look at that when I get up there. So,
okay.
Thank you.
Anyway, very good. How about you, Michael?
we've lost him.
He's not speaking anyway. I think on his phone, and it's harder to turn the stuff on and off. So we'll just go to our video unless Michael interrupts us as I'm getting it going. Hey, there's Michael. How's your meditation been?
Been doing well. Every morning and sometimes in the evening.
Very good. So for you, the meditation really is turned into a normal habit of life.
That is correct, yes.
Do you miss it when you somehow aren't able to do it?
Certainly, yes.
Okay, that's good. So now we'll go to the video.
You're scrolling through your phone, notifications, messages, headlines, and then, for a second, your thumb just stops. The screen is still lit, but your attention isn't really on it anymore. It's somewhere else. A thought appears. Almost casually, you're wasting your time again. Then another, you should be doing something more important. A familiar tightness shows up in your chest. You don't like this thought, so you try to shake it off. You open another app. You scroll faster. But the stream in your mind is louder than the stream on the screen. Now it's not just one thought. It's a whole chain. You're distracted. You don't have discipline. You're falling behind everyone else. Your body is sitting in one place, but your mind is already far away, lost in stories about who you are, what you're not, and what could go wrong. This is what it's like to live inside the mind without realizing you're there. You think you're just being yourself, but most of the time, you're just being your thoughts. And the strange thing is, It doesn't have to be this way. There is a moment, sometimes so brief you almost miss it, where you can simply notice. Notice that a thought has appeared. Notice that you're feeling pulled into it. Notice that there is a difference between what's happening in your head and the part of you that sees it. That small moment of noticing is the beginning of watching your mind without getting lost in it. To understand why this is so hard, you have to see how the mind usually works. Most of the day, your attention is fused with whatever appears. A memory shows up, and suddenly you're not in your kitchen anymore. You're back in that conversation from years ago. A worry arises, and your body tenses as if the future was already happening now. A self-judgment appears, and you don't think, I'm having the thought that I'm not enough. You think, I'm not enough, as if it were a fact. Thought and reality blend together, and you disappear inside the mixture. Mindfulness is the slow, gentle art of separating these layers again, not by force, not by fighting your thoughts, but by learning to recognize there is a thought here, and here I am, the one who sees it. It starts with something very simple, almost too simple for the thinking mind to respect. You bring your attention to what is actually happening right now, not the interpretation of it, not the story about it, just what is. The weight of your body on the chair, the feeling of your feet on the floor, the sound of the room around you, the air entering your nose as you breathe in and leaving as you breathe out. At first, it feels like nothing special. The mind might even complain. This is boring. This isn't working. I'm not doing it right. And that's okay, because the point is not to stop these thoughts. The point is to see them, to recognize. There is a thought saying this is boring. There is a thought judging how I'm doing, like subtitles appearing on a screen, while the movie keeps playing. When you relate to your mind like this, you're no longer inside every thought. You're watching them from a small but powerful distance, not far away, just far enough to breathe. You might notice that some thoughts are loud and dramatic. Everything will go wrong. Nobody really understands you. You're going to mess this up. Others' thoughts are quieter, like background commentary. This is good. This is bad. I like this person. I don't like this. Some are practical. Some are cruel. Some are useful. Some are just noise. Mindfulness doesn't ask you to categorize them perfectly. It invites you to notice that all of them have the same basic structure. They appear. They stay for a moment. They fade. Something else takes their place. Even the most intense ones. Even the ones that feel like the truth. They still follow this pattern. When you really see this, not just as an idea, but as a direct experience, something softens in you. You realize, if thoughts come and go, and I am still here after each one, then I must be more than whatever they say about me. From a scientific view, a lot of this is just how the brain is wired. There is a network in your brain, often called the default mode network. When you're not focused on a task, it turns on by itself. It replays memories, imagines the future, compares you to others, creates stories about who you are. It's not evil. It's just doing what it evolved to do. Keep track of your place in the world. But when this network runs unchecked, you get lost in its activity. You feel like the stories it tells are the only reality. Practices like mindfulness and meditation have been shown to change how this network behaves. When you train yourself to gently return to the present, to your breath, to your body, other networks in the brain start to balance it out. You become less identified with the stories, more grounded in what's actually happening. The thoughts don't vanish. They simply stop being the only voice in the room. Watching your mind, without getting lost in it, is less about technique and more about attitude. It's about the tone with which you pay attention to yourself. You could watch your mind like a critic. Why am I thinking this? This is stupid. I should be more positive. That's still the mind, judging the mind. Or you can watch it, the way you'd watch a small child, trying to make sense of the world. Curious, patient, noticing the confusion without turning it into guilt. You see a wave of anxiety arise. Instead of, what's wrong with me? You notice, there is fear here, and my heart is beating faster. And my mind is telling me that something bad is coming. You don't have to instantly fix it. You don't have to pretend it's not there. You just let your awareness wrap around the experience like a container. In that moment, you are no longer only the anxiety. You are also the space that holds it. Of course, the mind doesn't like this very much. It prefers being in charge. It feeds on movement, on unfinished stories, on what if. So the moment you begin to rest in simple presence, feeling your breath, feeling the weight of your body, hearing the sounds around you, the mind quickly throws something at you to pull you back in. Did you reply to that message? You forgot something important. You should check your phone. Think about your future. Now, this is not a sign that you're doing it wrong. This is the practice. You notice you got pulled away. You gently acknowledge it, thinking, worrying, planning, and you come back. Back to the feeling of sitting here. Back to the breath going in and out. Every time you notice a thought and gently come back to the present, you're strengthening something quiet but powerful. The capacity to return, to step out of the whirlpool without needing all the water to stop moving. You don't have to win against your mind. You just have to remember that you have another option. Sometimes watching your mind will reveal things you've been avoiding. Old stories resurface. You notice how often your thoughts attack you. They tell you you're not enough. It's tempting to run from awareness when that happens. But this is where mindfulness turns into inner honesty. You begin to see, it's not the world talking to me like this. It's my own mind. It learned this tone somewhere, and I've been believing it for years. You don't have to fight it. You don't have to argue. You simply bring awareness to it, sometimes with a hand on your chest, feeling the warmth there, and admitting quietly, this hurts. No wonder I'm so tense. No wonder I'm so tired. Real awareness is never cold. It always carries a trace of kindness. You're not watching your mind, like a security camera. In daily life, this can be simple. You feel your feet while you walk. You notice the glass in your hand as you drink. Thoughts appear. You see them and return to what's actually happening. You're not trying to have an empty mind. You're learning to keep part of your attention, rooted in reality. Little by little, you live closer to what is real and farther from the commentary about it. You're not just a mind full of thoughts. You are the presence that has been here through all of them. And every time you rest in that presence, you find your way back home to yourself.
And now we'll have a few minutes of meditation. Mindfulness is paying attention on purpose in this very moment, non-judgmentally. Just let yourself notice what is there and then let it go. Right. And we'll close with a chant. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Peace, peace, peace.
Thank you and God bless.
See you next week. Have good meditation.
Thank you.